this is not Joker Vandy because we scored, what did we end up scoring?
34 points.
34 points.
Yep.
And there was some hope with Cutter and some of the young receivers, et cetera. But it felt like Tennessee could have scored 90 points. Is that fair?
They could have scored every time they were on the field. I think they punted one time, which kind of blows my mind. But, yeah, they could have run up the scoreboard more than 56 points.
Even at the end, they surrendered and slid. They could have run it up if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could.
70 was on the table.
There was a lot of the game when we kept scoring. I was like, do you want them to score 70?
They were on pace.
It was like I was Mark going, okay, let's run it up the middle a little bit. Do you want them to score 70? It was awful.
It was awful.
But I think more important than the specifics of the game was kind of how it played out. Specifically, and part of this was because it was raining, and part of this was because it was at night. But the fourth quarter was empty.
Yeah.
You were there. How empty are we talking?
Very empty. Actually, someone sent me a good picture yesterday. It's just unbelievable how the only people there are wearing orange. I mean, you might find a couple Kentucky fans sitting out, but it just became their stadium for the fourth quarter. It was bleachers and orange.
And you can't hide that.
Nope.
I mean, you can't hide that. The players feel that. The coaches feel that. I mean, to whatever extent there was left any, okay, who's with us? Like, it's over at that point. Which, yeah, I mean, that's an amazing picture. That's essentially, show that to the camera. That's essentially all orange.
And going in the fourth quarter, a lot of it emptied out. So you've got a lot of football you're playing in pretty much nearly empty stadium.
So then, of course, online yesterday came the rumors that a change was going to be made. This is what I'm going to say to people. We went through this with the Cal thing. There are only like 6 people you should be listening to. I'm just going to say, like, no offense to people online. Like, if there's like 6 people that'll know. And I'm not going to sit here and say who they are, but you can guess.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say who they are. You can listen to people from KSR, especially the people that cover football, or the folks on this show. You can listen to Justin Rowland. You can listen to Larry Vaught if his attention's focused in the right place. You can listen. John Hale, for sure. John Hale, although he probably, because of his role, won't say a lot.
He wouldn't be as in
Jeff Drummond.
Jeff Drummond, for sure. And, you know, here's what's interesting about the anonymous sources. The anonymous sources that know are usually people that don't have much of a following, right? So I've learned on the text machine, who's right is always like random numbers. And I can tell whether they're right kind of by how they word it, you know?
Uh-huh.
So, but the more confident people are online, they're probably not. So there was this like, oh, it could happen right now. It did not. Here's where we are for the future. I know this there's rarely I say certainty, I'll say some certainty. I'd say we're now at 85 to 90% chance we'll have a new coach next year. You asked me that 2 weeks ago before the Texas game, that number would have been like 50, 55. It's 85%. The only way it could be different is if, in my opinion, if they were to win 3 games, like if they were to go 6-6, which would mean beating Auburn, Florida, and then either Vandy or Louisville, right? Does anyone on this show disagree with that?
No. If any 6-6.
Do you now think 5-7 also means a change? Because I do.
I do.
I guess I'd have to see who they beat to get those 5 wins.
I don't think the games left on the schedule are that impressive outside of Vandy.
Yeah, see, I think there was a time 5-7 would have made it close. I don't think it does anymore. Auburn doesn't have a coach. Florida doesn't have a coach.
Auburn just got their first win.
Barely got a coach. Mm-hmm. I mean, Vandy and Louisville, you get one of those, that'd be nice, but I don't think it changes anything unless you beat Auburn and Florida. So I think there's a decent chance I do the post-game show Saturday night, and we know there will be a change. I think it's unlikely that there's a change made here in the middle of the year. But for the first time, I don't think it's impossible. I think if they lost to Auburn and Florida, and one of those was embarrassing,
It could happen.
It could happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's unlikely. It's not really Mitch's style.
No.
But I don't know that he wants an empty stadium for that Tennessee Tech game. I think that Tennessee Tech game has a chance to be really embarrassing to the program in a lot of ways, and they know that. So I think what happens with Auburn, Florida matters. But here's what I posted something last night on the KSR Plus, and people I think they took it sort of the wrong way. Our administration's tone deaf. I think the administration has said, let's wait a week and let's see what happens at Auburn. Not that like Auburn could save his job, but Auburn could be the final nail, Ryan. That's how I look at it. Do you agree?
Yeah, they go on the road, they get embarrassed, don't play well. I think that would maybe be the final nail in the coffin.
And at which point, then I think they would be completely open to having the discussion of, all right, how do we end this? And starting to have that discussion with Stoops' people.
And depending what happens this weekend, you could still be a favorite against Florida at home because they're in a bad spot too. I think they play Georgia. I think it's this coming Saturday. Regardless, if you don't win that one, if you even get to that point, depending what happens this weekend, I just don't think that win. That's a win you should have. Like that's not something that could save you or change the circumstances. So that's almost a throwaway game for me. It can only make it worse for you if you lose it.
And the reason it's not it's out right now is there's still. I think the people believe around the program there's still a way to win 6 games. Now, we can all think that's ridiculous, but when you're in that locker room and you're playing, you can't think it's over.
No.
You still got 5 games to play. And I think they look at it and say, is it insane that we could beat Auburn, Florida, and one of Vandy and Louisville? Well, I mean, I guess it's not insane, right?
It's got a small percentage chance you could pull that off, I guess.
Well, my season prediction, game by game, we're still right on it, and I had them winning out to make a bowl. So that's actually what I thought would happen before the year began, and now the opportunity is right in front of them, even though I do not have the optimism in that right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but I also think you have to, you can't just look at your team and be like, this isn't going to happen. So when we come in Saturday night, you could hear me on the postgame show kind of switch the gear to there's going to be a change. Here's what I think's changed. Nobody around UK football believes this can continue at this pace.
Even the head coach, his words.
I don't think the head coach thinks it anymore either.
I agree with a couple things he said after the last couple games, especially after the game Saturday night.
So a lot of our conversation over the year has been, well, can they pay it? I think we're getting to the point that it's like, it's going to have to be done. So just the question is only method, right?
Do all these other schools getting rid of their coaches early think put a little more pressure on Mitch to make a move earlier than he wants?
I don't think it changes the final decision. It might make them have to announce something early.
Yeah.
So I look at it like this. If they're going to make an in-season change, it'll happen after the Florida game. If they don't do it after Florida, he'll be here till the end of the year. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if there's an in-season change, but I don't think it's impossible. For the first time, I don't think it's impossible. And I think part of it is a little bit these other teams.
Yeah. I think
that's
these
kind of other teams, 3 SEC teams have let their coach go mid-year.
Mm-hmm.
3.
And maybe Auburn, maybe another one coming before the season's over.
And if we win Saturday, it'll be 4. Think about that. If we win Saturday, Hugh Freeze will be gone the next week too. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
And on your scenario of losing the next 2 and then that Tennessee Tech game, I think about, we're doing it now. Think of how many times we bring up that Joker game, the Vandy game.
That'll be the Joker game.
I think if these next 2 are ugly, don't even put them in that position because we all have that image.
See, that's the
15
key.
years later.
You cannot have a moment. That Tennessee Tech game, this is part of the reason you should never play these games late in the year. But that's a noon game against Tennessee Tech where fans might want to say something. You can't let that happen, right?
And by the way,
it also could ruin a relationship that honestly shouldn't ruin like that.
Yeah.
That's why if the next 2 are ugly, almost just get out of the way. I think you almost
have to do it, and I think they know that.
It helps your search.
By the way, I think they know that. I didn't think they knew it till yesterday. I now think they know that. So I think Mark Stoops is coaching right now just to finish the season. But also, now, let me say, if they win 6, I think he will keep this job if he wants it.
That'd be a hell of a coaching job. He ended up winning 6 games this season.
But I think I used to say, well, 5 will make it hard. 5's not going to do it. It's got to be 6, and everybody can see what it would take to get to 6.
Like I said, he said some things after the game Saturday night that almost like leads me to believe, okay, he understands what's happening, and he accepts the fact that he's not going to be here next year.
He understands.
Yeah.
He knows. He feels this fan base. It's one of his strengths, in my opinion. He feels this fan base.
I agree with you.
And he knows what we think. And I'll say this, it breaks his heart. I was talking to, there's one media member that I wouldn't say Mark and I are close. I know him decently well. But I haven't talked to him since July. But there's one media member that knows him, I think, really well, certainly better than I do. And I talked to him this weekend after the game Saturday, and they said to me, and I agree with this, it's really it kind of breaks my heart, which, don't get me wrong, I don't feel sorry for Mark Stoops. He's going to make a lot of money, and he's going to be fine. But you know what? When people are sad, they're sad. My weakness in life is also a strength, which is I'm insanely empathetic to people, even people who are mean to me. Mark's not been mean to me, but just in general. And I feel bad for him because I know this is breaking his heart.